Good morning. Well, we're here outside the Bloomsbury Hotel in Bloomsbury Street in London, and we're about to kick off the Bookseller Design cover seminar. Delegates are just arriving. You might see some of them coming in. Very exciting day. Potential for chaos, it has to be said, because we are getting something like 125 designers into a room talking about a very intangible subject that causes many debates in publishing houses and retailers across the land. So we wait to see with bated breath almost what it's going to be like, getting people to try and distill that into some kind of cogent thinking. But that's the purpose of the day, and we've got a great lineup of speakers, so very exciting. Welcome to the Bookseller Cover Design Seminar. We've got an intensely packed programme today. Lots of speakers, lots to talk about.
My name's John Gray and I work under the name Gray318. The bookseller kindly invited me to this seminar to talk to you about trends. I decided to talk about me because I think that actually via talking about me I can get to trends, bizarrely. For those of you who don't know, this is the sort of work I do. It's mainly literary fiction, whatever that means these days. So I'll start with manuscript and brief. So if someone's foolish enough to give me a job, this is almost always done by email these days. Manuscripts are sent over with briefing forms that have come from an editor via the designer at a briefing meeting. Now at this stage, where possible, I read those manuscripts. Most of the projects that I struggle with are down to the fact that I haven't read the book. As I'm reading a manuscript, I scribble notes. These are often in the form of keywords, just so that I can remember key visual elements from a book, or scenes or moods, that kind of thing. This brings me in a very roundabout way to trends, because my advice would be simple: run a mile from them. Thanks for coming, and good night. Our industry isn't like other media industries. Trend is not important for one simple reason: we work too far ahead. You can copy any trend you like, but it won't hit the shops for 8 to 12 months. If you design something based on magazine graphics or music graphics, chances are its fashionability will have dwindled by the time your book comes out. Then leave that book on the shelf for a few months and it looks even worse. If you follow that route, you become effectively the Burtons or Primark of the design world.
The holy grail for me is when commercial astuteness, which isn't just big type, meets originality and innovation, and you come up with something that just makes you go, wow. That's the Mighty Book of Bush, which we published last Christmas. Now that is a TV spin-off. Now conventionally a TV tie-in or a TV spin-off would always have the talent on the front. You would always have the characters. You would always have a shot from the show. On every level, it's commercial madness not to do that, because that's what the fans engage with. And when I got that cover, because that was Noel Fielding that painted that, and they were like, oh, we love it, we've got to have this, we're so creative and surreal. And I was like, I know, that's why I love them, and I loved the cover, but I just could imagine what I was going to get pitching that to Tesco for Christmas. So I went back to the designer, who was also working on all the tour program visuals. Like, they had a really distinct brand look on their DVDs, but they were moving that brand look on. So by the time Christmas came, actually the Bush brand wasn't going to be quite what it had been at the point of selling in. So he provided me with loads and loads of visuals that tied in more with this look. So we kind of had a strategy. We could present it in the context of a bigger campaign. We hit on the, one boy, one boat, one tiger thing, because that's what people love about Pie. It's also about religion, it's about faith, so many other themes in that book, but these are the key things that people remember. And then we went, but we've already got those on our cover. But that was kind of okay, so the more high concept stuff, we just thought, well, it's really great design, but it's actually not going to engage with a market for a book that it's really mass, because, you know, it's read by 15-year-olds, 70-year-olds, so we definitely didn't want to do anything to alienate anybody from this book.
I think a lot about the format, about making something really stand out. So with Hans Christian Andersen, it was an anniversary edition, and I ditched the dust jacket because I wanted to create something that was really sumptuous and luxury and something that would be really treasured. So I went for a cloth binding and with one colour foil to keep the costs down, and it's been in hardback ever since 2005 and selling alongside the paperback editions, which is quite rare. When I start working on a project, I might have a crazy idea about format and for that particular market that we're aiming at, and so I talk to the production team, which is a lot of, I want everything, I want all the finishes, and they say no, you can only have one finish, which is normal and I'm used to it. And I actually think that relationship with a designer and production and budget kind of pushes me to really create something a little bit different with the constraints. And in my work there is quite an obsession with two colours. And with the Gothic horrors, again, what I did was I went around all the horror sections and I really thought about what the book's like in these sections in the bookshop. And there was a lot of bright colours, a lot of green, a lot of red. It seemed quite typical, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to push some commercial buttons, so I'll take a bright colour but one that isn't so apparent, it's not used so commonly. So I took yellow and blue, and the spines are bright yellow, so again it's making the most of spines, so that when you go to the horror section you see like these bright yellow bright yellow spines dotted about that section, and it's to kind of draw customers in. They might like one, they might see one and they go, oh, there's another one, and kind of get involved in the whole series and maybe buy the whole series. So again, it's me trying to make something stand out in a quite intense environment with a lot of books competing.
I've briefed the jury to be as provocative as they can in terms of just saying what they think rather than dilly-dallying and trying to be nice.